Alright, so in this video what I'm going to do is I'm going to be showing you how to use one of these, which is just a mechanical eraser. I'll show you what it does and what its main purposes are. So mainly what these are for very fine detailed highlights for the most part. So you'll see here at the tip, zoom in here. So here at the tip, you can see how it's sort of sharp on the edges. It's got a sharp edge here. They have the sharp ones like this, which are for really fine lines. So very fine highlights. They also have some that are rounded. Those are more for like bigger areas of highlights. So what I personally use these for the most is for drawing hair or fur. So like with this, what you'll do is once you've done all your main fur lines and everything, you'll go back through with this and use this sharp end, and you'll do really fine white lines, which will be your highlights or your lighter areas of your hair or fur. So I'll show you like in here. So you can see some of these areas, like I went in through here. You can see a little bit throughout where I went through with one of these, or where you would go through. So there's a lighter area, so you could go like this, and you sort of want to have it angled where the sharp edge of this is down. So you can go like that. And it's pretty subtle, and if you push harder you can see it better. And if you really want it to dig in, you'll have to push pretty hard. But you can sort of tell throughout there some of those little lines that I made. And some of it will take a little bit longer. And also what I would do is I would use an X-Acto knife. Because once you use this eraser for a while, you'll get a lot of your whatever you're erasing, the pigment stuff on there. You can see I got a little bit of that red right on there. So what I usually do is I'll use the end of it until it has so much on there that I can't use anymore. And you can even sort of go like that and wipe some of that off if there's not a lot on there. But what I'll do is I'll use an X-Acto knife and sort of just cut the very end off. That way you have a fresh part of the eraser that you can sort of start over with. Because also if you're wanting a really sharp angle, once you erase with it for a while, it'll get sort of rounded to where it doesn't make as sharp or precise lines. It'll be like a bigger, broader, wider area that it covers. So that's why I cut that off. Also, if you cut it, you can cut it at an angle. So if you wanted to, I cut it sort of straight across almost, but you can cut it like this at an angle so that you have even more sharp of a point. So if I was to go sort of at an angle like this, it's sort of hard to do because it likes to slip off there. But you can have a little bit more of a sharp angle, and be very careful because these X-Acto knives are very sharp. And you'd probably need to sit this down on like a table or something to cut it. Makes it a little bit easier and safer. But this does help quite a bit with your highlights. Like I said, the main thing that I use it on is like hair and fur. So here's my latest drawing I did. So with this hair, you can see right in here, I did this quite a bit because it was pretty dark. And then I went through with this and basically just went like that to make all the highlighted areas up in here. And you can see it on him as well, sort of these highlighted areas right in here. And some of the parts of the beard, you can see where I went through and just put push down like this, like I was doing the strokes of the hair. That gives you your highlights. And here you can see it the most on both of these because you can see the highlighted areas. So that works quite a bit on those. Then also here's my stitch one. You can't see it quite as much as in this one because the fur is mostly lighter. You can see maybe a little bit throughout, but you can mainly see it on this one here with the hair. So with her hair and his hair, you can see the highlights because it's a darker, like a dark brown, so you can see the highlights a little bit better. So these are mainly for like really fine detailed highlights. So if you do a lot of those kind of drawings where you're needing really fine detailed highlights, as far as hair, fur, reflections, things like that, I would suggest investing in one of these. They make, especially on hair where you need really fine highlights, because all the hair is really like paper thin almost. So these really help with that quite a bit. Same with fur, for the really fine highlights. They are a little bit expensive. So I got this one at Hobby Lobby. I believe it was $6 to $8. I can't remember exactly. And then it just works like a mechanical pencil sort of. So you push the end and it pumps out more of the eraser. And then once the eraser's gone, you just have refills that you have to buy to put in there. But you probably won't go through a whole lot of these because you're just doing some small detail work. These are not for like big erasing deals. You use bigger erasers for that. This is for small detailed stuff. So I will leave a link to this this eraser in the description of this video if you decide to pick one up. You can also find a bunch of different ones on Amazon for probably a little bit cheaper, but I will leave links in the description if you want to pick one of those up. If you have any questions about this eraser, let me know, or any questions about different art techniques or drawing techniques, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and have a great day.